Hi traders, welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris and today's video is about the euro dollar and pound dollar. Pound of course had a great break to the upside, but will it continue? And the euro dollar is still struggling in the triangle. Let's take a look. This is the pound dollar and it is having an interesting breakout to the upside. You can see that price is pushing above this bull flag that we did discuss in the last videos and is staying within this channel, is in fact kind of accelerating above this channel. If we put a parallel line, compared to this line, you can see here it's pushing above, or trying to push above. It's now attempting again for the second time, and I think that breakout is likely at this moment. So if you look at the SWOT template, you would have seen that here we had a great breakout candle, blue arrow, and that has been moving up nicely. So this bullish breakout is not only valid on the 4-hour chart of this bull flag, but that breakout was also of a bigger daily formation and daily pattern. You can see here like this, there we go, a resistance trend line, and price broke above that resistance trend line and moving averages. So we are not only in a 4-hour breakout, but daily breakout too. So that's something we were looking at, of course, potentially a continuation here or a bigger retracement down to the 144. We did get the bounce and we're getting the breakout as well, a continuation of this daily chart. So the 1-hour chart has indeed made kind of a bull flag triangle pattern, and price is breaking above that. What I personally am expecting is for price to continue now with the trend. I'm not sure if that will do that immediately. There could be a bigger correction here, so price might test this resistance, move down again, and then bounce. So from my perspective, the continuation here on this 1-hour chart, it's important to keep an eye on this fib. There we go. And price should stay above the 50 max 61.8 fib. Otherwise, this is not looking like a wave 4. As I said, if price makes this kind of sideways move, that could easily be a wave 4, and price could easily then continue up to the minus 272 target. Or if price pushes above this resistance trend line, pushes above it, and there's a small bull flag and continuation, I think there's a good chance of price going to the minus 272 target and then the minus 61.8 target. So here again, looking for sideways consolidation and a break, looking for a pullback and a bounce, or looking for a break, pullback, and continuation. How far could this go? Let's take a look at the daily chart. There we go. And I think that there's a good chance for price to get up to these targets, 142, 142.50. Then price is retesting this entire resistance zone. And we'll have to see how price responds to that level. We don't know. It could be that price goes sideways. It could be that price keeps pushing up. It could be that price starts falling. It's difficult to tell at this moment. But until that zone, I think there's a decent chance that price will continue without breaking below 139.75. That's my 2 cents at least for the pound dollar. How I look at the euro dollar, well, basically to me this looks like an ABC based on Elliott wave theory and patterns. I think that this is an ABC likelihood, and that could fit within a bigger wave 2, and this is a bigger wave 1. That would mean that this is the start of a potential wave 3. But waves 3 sometimes start slow, and if you look at the moving averages, they're all on top of each other, and it is quite messy and rangy at this moment. So despite the fact that we had bullish price action here, it would not be surprising for me to see price make a dip before moving up again, but it should not break this bottom. Otherwise, this is not a wave 1 and this is not a wave 2 of the bigger wave 3. All right. So that could happen, especially when the market is so choppy and corrective. Alternatively, of course, there's also the potential for this breakout. And if price breaks above it, either now or after a hook back, that could, of course, also indicate the start of a bigger wave 3, the breakout above this resistance trend line. Now, if price breaks through this bottom, I don't think it is necessarily a downtrend as yet, because what that could mean is that price is still in a wave 1, 2 of a bigger degree, that this is still a correction. All right, and it could fall down to the 78.6 fib, but still all in all, it could still be a bigger wave 2. All right. The only thing that is invalidated if price breaks through this bottom is the smaller wave 1, 2. That would not be valid anymore. But the bigger wave 1, 2 is still on the table. And in fact, price, I would expect to see, a bounce at these deeper fibs like the 78.6 and the 88.6 fibs for upside. If price were to break below this bottom, then that would invalidate the wave 2. All right, and that would the bigger wave 2, and that would not be on the table anymore. And indeed, maybe perhaps a downtrend is likely at that point. Still cautious, but definitely there's downward pressure. So if the price bounces here, I think there could be a retest of this bottom and a bounce. So I'm looking for this bounce, I'm looking for this break, I'm looking for this break, or I'm looking for bounces down in here, basically. All right, that's my view. And if price does break through this bottom, then of course I will start to think about potential bearish trades, which I don't see at this moment. So the upside, well, basically ABC up on the daily chart, and if we get the break, there could be this potential push up. Now, of course, we have to be aware that tomorrow on Wednesday at 6 p.m. GMT time, there is a big US interest rate decision, and there could be a rate hike, and that could send the dollar up potentially. It could actually be a very volatile news event, so the interest rate might create some dollar strength, but then who knows, it could be a roller coaster, and it could create a lot of ups and downs, in fact. And if there's no rate hike, the news basically could be a big factor. Also on the pound, of course, all the dollar pairs. So it's difficult to say what will happen before and what will happen after. From that point of view, waiting to trade anything until after the news event, well after the news event, hours after at least, or maybe a day after, give it some time, is better and safer, because then we know how that news event has impacted these currencies. What could happen with the news event is that, if it's dollar strength news, it could push it all the way down here. The news fades away, and who knows, price might still use these fib levels as a bouncing spot. So that's an important factor that everyone should be aware of. But technically, this is how it looks like at this moment, and we'll have to see how the news event fits in and how it changes perhaps the situation, and we'll have a new update on Thursday. All right, more free analysis, of course, at elitecurrency.com, and wish you all great trading. Cheers.